Welcome back, folks, to a brand new video.
London, the capital of England, is a bustling city with history stretching back to Roman times. Now, what kind of channel would this be if I didn't promote my own city? So if you've never been to London before, here are 10 top tourist destinations to visit in London.
Now, before you even watch this video, don't forget to hit that like button, obviously for the YouTube algorithm.
Number 1. The Tower of London and Tower Bridge. The magnificent Tower of London has fulfilled many different roles over the centuries. It's one of Britain's most iconic structures, a spectacular World Heritage Site offering tons of information regarding the country's rich history. Inside the massive White Tower, built in 1078 by William the Conqueror, is the 17th century line of kings. But other highlights include the famous Crown Jewels exhibition, the Beefeaters, the Royal Mint, and the gruesome exhibits about the executions that took place.
Showing the royal stand to the top floor. On the floor below was a council chamber, a banquet hall, accommodation for knights and their ladies, and the chapel of St. John the Evangelist. The lowest floor with windows was occupied by servants.
Then you have Tower Bridge. It's two huge towers rising 200 feet above the River Thames. Again, one of London's best known landmarks. Number 2. Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace is also the scene of London's most popular display called the Changing of the Guard. Drawing crowds at 11:30 AM regardless of the season, this colourful and free display of precision marching and music also takes place at St James's Palace, after which you can follow the band along the Mall as they march between the sites. Check out my video on Westminster in the London travel guide, which I will link below for more information and tips and tricks along the way. The palace was built in 1837 and has been the London residence of the royal family since Queen Victoria's accession. If you're wondering whether she's in, Number 3. Royal Botanical Gardens. The spectacular 330-acre Kew Gardens is widely considered as the world's most important collection of living plants. It's situated in southwest London, along the banks of the River Thames, between Kew and Richmond. Founded in 1759, Kew Gardens is one of England's top tourist attractions, with over 2.1 million visitors passing each year. So it's a great place to spend a day whether you're a fan of flowers or not. It's simply a superb green space in which you can relax. But alternatively, you can go to Regent's Park, Hyde Park, or St James's Park.
Number 4. Hampton Court Palace. Hampton Court is one of Europe's most famous palaces and a truly remarkable place to visit in London. Its Great Hall dates from Henry VIII's time, and it's where Elizabeth I learned of the defeat of the Spanish Armada. So when you do visit, grab an audio guide upon your arrival and choose a velvet cloak to wear as you tour the grounds, if you're hoping to feel a little bit more authentic. Or you can get lost in the palace's famous maze or grab a bite on the on-site cafe. Other interesting features include the clock court, with its fascinating astronomical clock dating back from 1540. And of course, if you do arrive in the summer, the gardens are where you want to be. Number 5. Sky Garden Rooftop. So for a free alternative to the views that you get from the Shard, this viewing gallery on the 43rd floor of the Walkie Talkie building offers panoramic views over London. Now I've done a free rooftop guide in the playlist, so don't forget to check that out if you want to save some of your money. At the Sky Garden there are a couple of bars and restaurants if you want to prolong your stay, but otherwise you're welcome to mosey around for an hour. If it's possible, aim for a sunset visit to enjoy the views over London. Number 6. Big Ben, Westminster. So nothing screams London more emphatically than the 318-foot tower housing the giant clock and its resounding bell known as Big Ben. It's as iconic a landmark as Tower Bridge, and the tolling of Big Ben is known throughout the world. Below, stretching along the Thames, are the Houses of Parliament, the seats of Britain's government for many centuries, and of course where Boris Johnson hangs out and ruins the country. My suggestion is that you go around the back to see the Houses of Parliament for a better view and less crowds. But you can also check out the Westminster Guide in the description below for a more in-depth view. Number 7. London Museums. Now it's really difficult to name one museum because London is home to some of the best museums in the world, and there are plenty. But displaying one of the world's finest collections of antiquities, the British Museum contains more than 13 million artifacts from the ancient world, with priceless objects from Babylonia, China, Europe, and elsewhere. It's hard to know where to begin in this huge attraction. Then there's the National Gallery, an iconic column museum set at the edge of Trafalgar Square, where again you can take tons of pictures. Home to incredible masterpieces that make it one of the best in London. So it's a city full of museums, so take your pick. Number 8. Greenwich. For centuries, the hub of Britain's naval power, Greenwich is best known to tourists as the home of the Cutty Sark, the last of the 19th century tea clippers to sail between Britain and China. Now the ship is located adjacent to the Discoverer Greenwich Visitor Centre, with its exhibits showcasing more than 500 years of maritime history. But don't forget the impressive collections of the National Maritime Museum, the largest of its kind, and it will illustrate the history of the Royal Navy. Number 9. Oxford. Now the last two will be day trips from London, and Oxford, the city of dreaming spires, is an easy day out from London. It's only an hour on the train, and trains run frequently until the early hours. I really think it's one of the best places in the UK. It's a city that's full of history and cool things to do. And what's interesting about Oxford is that the attractions are all within easy walking distance from each other. So for over 800 years it's been home to royalty and scholars, and since the 9th century an established town. Nowadays the city is a bustling cosmopolitan town. Number 10. Windsor. Now Windsor is a top day trip from London because it's really close by. Even so, many visitors disembark from the train they make a beeline for Windsor Castle, have a nosy around, and then head straight back home. But it's a real shame because they're missing out on a wonderful riverside town that merits your attention. The castle, which so happens to be the oldest inhabited castle in the world, you also have the staterooms and the beautiful grounds that take some time to explore. But you can also walk around the expansive Windsor Great Park, then test your skills on the water with either rowing or kayaking along the Thames. Plenty to do, plenty to enjoy. So there you have it, folks. Just a snippet of what London has to offer, and there are plenty of things to do for you to enjoy a weekend. That's it from me. As always, be good, be kind, and be bloody careful. Peace!